So I was focused mainly on my role in the group with Eliot was to make the film. So I was focusing mainly on the production, but we were all doing bits and bobs and the other parts on the website and the digipack. So I'm mainly going to talk about the production of the video, but the bits and bobs about the other part. So I guess the biggest piece of digital technology, or one of the first in the whole production, was the camera we used, and that was an Olympus. It was Z2 31MR camera, and it was a digital camera. It wasn't a video camera, but it could take videos because all digital cameras can now. And that's like technological convergence, in that everything, two completely separate tools have now become one because of digital technology can accommodate both formats. So the advantages of this really are that we can delete footage if we don't like it. We can just press delete, and there's no sort of physical embodiment of it, so we can just get rid of it and we can carry around and it's no weight. Like, we don't have rushes, we don't have to bring tapes and cassettes, we don't have to get them converted, and we don't have to have couriers running around, or we would do. We don't have to run around and go to different post-production offices and convert them and have all the conversions made and copies made and then master copies made. So it's really easy that we can just do that, and it goes straight on a memory chip. So with that, we can just plug it into any computer, and there's unlimited copies as well, so it's not a problem. And the memory chip is tiny, it's like that big, so we can. That's a really useful piece of new technology, or relatively new. Then the second thing we used, we had a USB converter. We had a 40 gigabyte memory chip, and we had a little tool that could convert that into a USB, and then we can put that in different types of computers, and it was really easy to get it around, get it everywhere. So that was very useful. The editing software, I think that's probably the most the piece of digital technology or new media technology that has changed the most recently. And so we're using the Final Cut Pro, which is probably the most sophisticated, or one of the most sophisticated editing programs that you get available on Macs. And you just import the footage from the memory chip or from the computer, and you import it just to the file, and then you can copy, you can delete, you can just basically drag and drop. There's all the different tools like blade and select and move and everything, and you can just sort of move them around, reposition them, delete them, layer them up so you can have them overlap each other. And this is just really useful because if we were doing the same projects years ago, we would have had to do been splicing, we would have had a master reel, we would have had everything had to be cut, and it's just sort of the whole editing suite is now basically reduced to one Mac, so you can do it on. And the other things, we used some slow motion now, which would have been a nightmare before digital technology and before Final Cut, because now there's just a button where you can toggle slow motion. If you need it in more detail, you can select optical flow, which adds a frame in between the frames, like a half rendered, sort of like a transparent frame, and that smoothens it out. And also we did a lot of grading, color correction, and everything. And we didn't have to use filters, or we didn't have to do anything like that. We could just press and drag and drop in select. And there's also just, you can undo. There's no permanent. The footage isn't permanently marked. You can just do it again if you don't get it right. And that's really how Final Cut and digital editing software was really useful. And then publishing, we use YouTube. Published project on YouTube, and that's as simple as just logging in and pressing upload, and then you just drag and drop your exported project in, and then it uploads, and it's on the internet. And that was how we got it and how we could access it anywhere. And then we just embedded that in the blog on the website. So that's pretty much, those are the digital technologies we use in the production of the film, and then music video. And in for making the website, we use Wix.com, which is a sort of website creator, and it's quite simple. You just use it. You log in, and then you get a template, and then you can change different pages and the designs, and you can click on all these sort of options at the side. You can change the backgrounds, you can change the fonts, the colours, you can import pictures and said links to videos. So we linked the music video and we put in all the pictures we took of the band. And that's how we sort of made it fit the genre by changing fonts and colours and things. And then for the digipack we use Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, and that's I think that's another way in which new media technologies have dramatically influenced the way in which this would be done. Like if we were doing this like 20 years ago, we would have had been getting pictures and cutting them out and trying to get everything, fading them in, maybe laying them up on a piece of glass with a light under it to get. So you have a lot of fading, I think, going on in the digipack. And so, I mean, the Photoshop is this unique layers system. Well, it's not unique, but this layer system where you layer up different images and you can make some transparent, you can blur them in using the blur tool. And we would just had to cut it out. And the text, especially, you can just open a text box and write a text and then make the background transparent or whatever you want to do. And last piece of digital technology we use is Facebook just to organise all the shoots. We would just message the cast and our musicians and tell them what they would need, and if we needed them to wear a costume and what they would be doing, organise the times, and that's how we kept in touch with them. So those are the digital technologies we used in construction.